We're staying in the modifying objects.dwg file, and as you can see, I've left it in the same state as it was at the end of the last video. I've even left the modify panel up here pinned open in case we need any of those modify commands as we work through this particular chapter. Now, you'll remember in the previous video, we used offset and mirror to create our nice little internal wall here. What we're going to do now is utilize move and copy to add more internal walls coming off of these points that we've created previously. So we're going to utilize a particular snap called node, and the node snap is what allows us to snap to these AutoCAD points here, like so. If you hover over them, you can see that AutoCAD is telling us in the little prompt there that it's a point. It is an AutoCAD point. And they're a great tool for snapping to using your object snaps. And if you put them on their own separate layer, you can freeze that layer later so that you don't have these points all over your floor plan in this particular case. Now, we're going to do a move first. Now, move is the same workflow command-wise as copy. But all you're doing is you're moving the original geometry from one place to another. With copy, you are moving the original geometry, but leaving, obviously, the original geometry behind and making a copy of it. So the workflow and the process is the same. The good thing about move and copy is they are available on the shortcut menu on the right click. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you both. We're going to go through that process twice for each of the commands so that you know how to do it off the modify panel on the home tab on the ribbon and also on the shortcut menu. So let's do move first. Now you'll remember our selection methods. If I come down here and get my crosshair just above that purple grid line, click and drag across like that and click again, it selects all three of the lines that form the internal wall there. Now I'm going to move that to the point over on the right hand end. I'm going to move it to there. Now, before I do that, I'm going to go down to the object snaps here, click on the flyout, and I'm going to switch node on. Saves me having to do a shift and a right click all the time to bring up the override snap menu on the mouse. So node is now a running object snap. So what I can do there now is just hit the arrow again just to close that menu. Now, the lovely thing is I can now snap to any of those points, those red points, because they have a node snap. So I've got my object selected. I'm going to go up to move, which is on the modify panel. There's move. Now, because I've got noun verb selection on, as soon as I do that, AutoCAD says specify the base point you're moving from. So that's going to be this node here. Make sure it says node when you hover over it, like so. There's node. Click. And can you see now I'm moving that from one node up to another node. Click again. And can you see it's actually moved all the way across to that one there. Now, I'm going to undo that. Here's undo on the quick access toolbar. Same selection method, little window selection like that, little crossing window selection. And I'm going to right click this time. And you can see I've got move there as well. So I click on move, go back to the node, node there, and I've moved it again another time. So you can see there that the right-hand click menu, the shortcut menu, is a little bit quicker. It's a little bit slicker. And once you get into the habit of using the right-click menu off of the mouse, you'll find that you start to draft more quickly, more efficiently. You can still use the modify panel. It's entirely up to you. But as I've worked with AutoCAD for many, many years, I find that that right-click menu, the contextual menu, becomes a much, much easier thing to use. So we're now going to look at copying. So again, using the crossing window selection here to get the three lines. I'm going to go up here now. Copy is on the modify panel right there. So I click copy. And again, the workflow is the same as the move command. So again, I'm going from there. There's my node I'm coming from. And then I'm going to this node, to this node, and to this node. And can you see I'm copying them? And it will keep on copying ad nauseum until I press enter to finish. So you can see there, I've done a copy. Workflow's the same, but I've left the original behind and copied the original to each of those node snaps. So let's have a look at that now on the right-click shortcut menu. So we'll just do an undo, undoes those copies that we did, like so. Little window selection again, like we did before. There's the window selection. Right-click, copy selection on the shortcut menu. You'll see the icon is the same. And again, I'm going from the original. There's the node. And I'm going node, node, node. Enter to finish. Job done. There's my copy off the right-click shortcut menu. And again, you can see it's just that little bit quicker, a few clicks quicker. Start getting into what I jokingly call the economy of clicks in AutoCAD. The economy of clicks means the less clicks you're doing to perform a command, the more economical and more efficient you're becoming as you create your AutoCAD drawings. As you can see now, we've created some nice little partitions there. These could potentially be little cubicles for desks, hot desking, for example. You could have a desk and a chair in each of those, like so. Now, last but not least, I want to show you a little trick with the layers, though. If we go up to our layer drop-down, like so, and come down here, there's our points layer. Now, we don't need those red points anymore at the moment. So what we do is we click on the little sun symbol and freeze them, like so, and they disappear and a little snowflake appears. Just hit escape to close the layer drop-down, and you've now got a nice, neat, tidy AutoCAD drawing.